So I heard about the program when I was reading a book in college, and she talked about like an embodied connection with the natural world and mentioned Wilderness Awareness School. She had worked with the school a number of times a few years back, and I remember just being curious about what that was like. And at the time I was in college for ecosystem management and was, learning the names of plants and learning how to identify tracks, and really loved the work that was primarily outdoors, but there was still this disconnect. I felt a longing for something else, and I think that was the first time that I became aware of what that something else might be. So my name is Karen Tomkins, and I graduated from the program in 2011, and I'm in training to become a landscape architect. So a landscape architect is essentially someone who builds and designs outdoor places and is involved with placemaking. And that could be public spaces, it could be individual backyards, and there's lots of overlap with like regional city planning as well. Through being in the program and also doing the apprenticeship, I was able to see a clear path to follow so that I could have a career that embodied some of these passions that I had discovered. I think in the world right now, there's a lot of need for people who are embodied in place. I think the program was really helpful for me to engage with the natural world in a way that I think is really lacking today. It's not just about the names of plants and being able to identify which plants are edible, but it's also about being connected to place and embodying what it means to be human today. I think while landscape architecture has been a really incredible profession that has impacted a lot of natural spaces in the world, there is a lack of that in that profession, and I think being able to bring that into the profession is really exciting. I think that as someone who has a background with this program and is able to engage in the natural world in that way, I think I have a lot to bring to that conversation. I guess the other thing that I would say about, on the more practical side of what this program has given me is an ability to see the landscape differently and to see a story on the landscape that maybe people in an urban context would miss. And I think as landscape architects, it's really important that we are able to design with those stories that are already there instead of just trying to overlay and impose something on a place. Yeah, to anyone who's thinking about joining the program, I would say that there's this inner knowing. I think that there's a lot of intellectualizing that happens in the world, but there's something different when we connect with an inner knowing that it's the right time.